Welcome back, LEGO builders and Minecrafters, to episode 3 of building Mumbo's Season 8 base out of LEGO. So in the last episode, we did a bunch of the inner structure on the right side. Oh, no, never mind. That is the left side, me being dumb there. So we did the structure on the left side here. And actually, I did a stream, and on stream, we changed out the design I had with just the solid bricks, and I made it a lot more brick efficient. So there's a lot more like holes in the brick. And so then I saved on a lot more parts. And then also on stream, we worked on some of the side on this side. So as you can see, this side is a lot more built up. It has its gray wall on the side there. And I already put the door in place here for the electronics. And I built up some of the inner structure here, and we'll be continuing to do that on a time lapse later today. So quickly, I would like to mention this before we get into any building. And in the last episode, I said how I didn't really like the different color of lights between these two scenes and how it wasn't really bright enough. And actually, I'm gonna go back on that decision and say I think it actually looks really good and cool that the area with like clouds and kind of the more green lush area of Grumbot's made up world or fake world is a lot more blue, green, and lush, and while the cave is a lot more white and reddish, almost like a more cave color. So I think that works really well, but I may want to make it a little bit brighter and just add a few more lights in there. So also in the time lapse coming up here, we'll also be putting in the lighting for Sahara and the Hobbit Hole. So over the weekend here, a couple of Bricklink orders have arrived. So we have these two orders here, and I have no clue what's in them. So in the first order here, let's open it up and reach inside. We have, oh wow, we have a lot of these 1x1 round studs, and I believe that's the nougat color or light nougat or something like that. So I just got a bunch of those for like maybe a little bit of dirt and that sort of thing, so a little bit of extra detail. And so I think that what else is in this Bricklink order here is just a bunch of green and kind of plant parts. And actually these studs here with the snot brick are actually going to be going on Grumbot, so I can finish off Grumbot because he's technically not finished yet. And it also appears that we have some orange tiles in there as well. So some pretty cool parts, and hopefully we'll be able to use all of them on the mountain. And now the second Bricklink order here appears to have a piece of paper wrapped around it. And inside, it appears, there's the name of the Bricklink store, so I guess you can head over there if you want to. But it appears that in this Bricklink order, there's a bunch of stuff for building up vines. So I saw this type of piece being used on the bonsai tree Lego set, so this piece was used as like kind of vines wrapping around, and I thought I could probably use these kind of bendy vines as well. I also got some of these longer types of vines and a couple of these big whips to put some leaf parts on. And finally here, if I can just quickly get this off of this piece of paper that's taped in. Come on, get off. Okay, so finally I got it out. Here we have this sort of log piece, and some of you may see where I'm going with this. This is going to act as a little bit of an Easter egg for Mumbo's build. So, you know how when Tango went around with his tree costume and that sort of thing? Well, there's actually a minifigure piece for that, and a minifigure can fit inside of this tree log. So we'll be able to have that sort of prank. I just have to add a couple of leaves to the top there to make it actually look like a tree. But it's kind of cool how there is actually a tree part, and we'll be using that. And the only problem is I ordered 2 of these and only 1 came. So I did in fact contact the Bricklink seller about that, so hopefully he'll be sending me the other one soon. So we have tons of cool new parts to help us build up the mountain. We can add that to the ever-growing collection right over there. But for now, I think we should hit our very first time lapse, and I think in this time lapse I am going to play the most funky and weirdest music that I can find, because it is October and getting close to the Halloween season, so I think that we should get some music to reflect that. So enjoy this really weird music. So, I hope you guys enjoyed that time lapse and the music that I decided to put with it, and actually, as Grian would say, that music was a little bit wonky. So, as you can see back over here, I got most of the inner structure done, so it's mostly done, and I'll probably just do the rest off camera. And so, the next thing that we have to do is regarding these cubicles, or these little scenes up front here, and I'm just going to be adding in all the lights, like threading them all through. And actually, I think with the other side over there, since I accidentally left the lights on all night, I think the lights are dying a little bit and the battery is running out, so I might have to take off these plates and add another strip of lights in there just to make sure everything is nice and bright. So I think I'll be doing those two things off camera. And then after all of that is done, I'll probably finish off the rest of the structure here and then flatten everything out so it's at the correct level. And the level that I decided here is this height right here, as it perfectly matches up with the snot bricks going sideways there and also these just normal bricks being stacked up. So this is the height that all of the canyon is going to go up to, and then this will be like ground level, and then we'll build the mountain up from there. So I have quite a lot of work cut out for me, and also why this video is taking slightly longer to come out is this weekend is Thanksgiving in Canada. So I know all you Americans don't have Thanksgiving until November, but in Canada, this is Thanksgiving weekend, so you know I'm going to be taking a little bit of a break from LEGO, and that's why this video was slightly delayed, and also that's why there was no stream. So before I get to work on all of that, I have another Bricklink order here, and this Bricklink order is actually fairly massive. So I believe most of the parts inside of this Bricklink order are all for building up like the terrain and like the canyon and all the mountain terrain. So if I just pull down this tab here and grand reveal, da 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 da, you can see it is a lot of slopes. So I'm guessing that paper there was just the order form, but I think I ordered 700 of these 1x3 slopes, so you can see all of them in there. Yeah, see it says 400 here, and then I think it's another 400 or 350 in this one, so that's a bunch of those parts. And then I think I also ordered 500 of these 1x2 like curved slopes. So all of this should definitely help with building up the mountain. So not that many different types of parts, but a lot of parts to hopefully build up most of the mountain terrain. So I guess we can go ahead and add these to our ever-growing collection of Bricklink orders over here. So that is a lot of parts. We have all these plant parts all ready to go, all of these slopes and wedges, and a bunch now rock pieces to do rock work. So we have quite the collection of parts that's being gathered over here. So now I guess I have to get to work on all of the things that I said I was going to do. So I guess I'll go ahead and grind on. Quick update, I'm sick. You can probably hear it in my voice, but I got a little bit of a cold, and that's another reason why this video is a little bit delayed from what I wanted it to be. So while I've been sick, I've been trying to get done as much LEGO as possible. So as you can see, I've done a little bit more on these sides. I've put in all of the lights for Sahara, and I even replaced the lights on this side, so they're all going to be nice and bright now without any issues. I also had to do a bunch of rearranging and stuff with the cliffs here because they weren't quite matching up quite right. So I did some changing around, and I think everything is much better. There's still a little bit of an issue over here, but that's for me to worry about in the next couple of days. So I guess quickly here I can go ahead and turn on the light. And I guess I'll go ahead and do that for the other side as well here. So there we go, you can kind of see all the lights are now turned on. And now I know it looks a little bit weird over here, but that's just because we don't have any of the coverings on it yet. So then all the light will be directed downwards towards like the scenery. So I'm not going to put you through listening to my sick voice too much longer, but there are two more things that I'd like to say. The first one being, it's a little bit of a fun fact, that exactly a year ago from, hopefully when I'm uploading this, so exactly a year ago on October 13th, 2020, I uploaded the very first Building Mumbo's Base video. And it's kind of crazy to think that that was exactly 1 year ago that I released the very first episode on building the Season 7 base. And now the second thing here is another massive Bricklink order came in. Of course, is from Germany. So I think I know what's in this Bricklink order, but I'll just have to quickly see here. And so, I guess we rip that open, and I believe it is... Yes, it is 1,000 of these 1x2 slopes, so you can see the part in there, and I got 1,000 of these to hopefully flesh out and finish up any parts of the mountain that I am going to need to do. So I believe I have 6 more Bricklink orders coming after this, but we can add this to the ever-growing pile. So I guess now I'm going to try and finish up the rest of the inner structure and get up to the proper height that I want it to be up to. So, see you in literally half a second. Okay, just hold up 1 second. Another massive Bricklink order arrived, and inside there are a bunch of 2x6s, and that's really all you need to know. Time lapse. So we now have the entire inner structure all completed, and I have plated it all off on the top here, and you can even see the lines that I started placing down for that sus figure. And again, these kind of burgundy red lines will be marking out where the cliffs will be going up, so that's just kind of to help me visualize where everything is going to go. So while I have the right side here all done, we still obviously have to do the left side. But I'm not going to do that in this episode as I have run out of time and I really should get this episode out to you guys. So I'll probably be doing the rest of the building on this side in a stream, so make sure to check that out. So we got quite a lot of progress done in this episode, and even on this side you can see I started to put in some of the plates, and that's where we'll be doing all of the rock work. So we got a little bit of that done, and we have all of the inner structure, and I fixed up that side a little bit, and we even got all of the lighting in place for all of the scenes. So I hope you did enjoy this episode, and I guess we can end things off here with these lovely lit up scenes of Mumbo in his hobbit hole and Sahara. So if you did enjoy, please leave a like on the video, make sure you subscribe to catch future episodes, and with that said, Gigahertz Productions, out.